Once upon a time, there were 3 little piggies named Adria, NeNe, and June. Adria, NeNe, and June's mommies were sisters, so that made them cousins. So Adria, NeNe, and June had lots of fun growing up together. But when they got really super big and got done with college, they decided that they wanted to move out. So they decided they would build houses by one another. That would be fun. So they all worked and saved up their money. And then they went to the hardware store. So Adria had planned and had looked through all kinds of websites and figured out what she wanted to do. And so did June, and so did NeNe. And so the time came when they went to the hardware store to pick out their materials. So first went June. June said, "Let me pick up one of these ads and see what's on sale." Ooh, she said, "Look at the price on this straw." She goes, "If I get straw, I can afford to buy anything I want to decorate the inside. That would be amazing." And Adria said, "June, I just don't think that's a good idea. If that big bad wolf comes by, that straw is not going to keep him out. Don't you remember what your mother told you?" And NeNe said, "Yeah, June, we're supposed to always listen to our mommies." And June said, "Sorry, ladies, this is what I want. This is what I'm getting." And so Adria and NeNe were like, "Okay." So then NeNe saw this wood, and she thought, "Oh my goodness, this would be beautiful."
I can't see it.
Shh. She said, "This would be beautiful." And Adria said, "Again, NeNe, I just don't think that that's going to keep a big bad wolf out. You know that when your mommy tells you something, she's usually right." And NeNe said, I know, she's always right. However, this is so beautiful. I just don't think I can live without it. And it is a really good price, so I can still buy some cute things for the inside." And June's like, "See? She knows what I'm talking about." And Adria's like, "Okay." So Adria decided that she was going to use her money that she'd saved up to buy the brick. And yes, it was expensive. And no, she couldn't buy everything she wanted for the inside right away. But she knew that if she just got a strong house built up, that then for years she could just add beautiful things to the inside and it would be okay. So that's what she did. She bought the brick that she knew would keep that big bad wolf out on the outside, and she could keep her beautiful things safe on the inside, just like she and her mommy had planned. So the 3 of them went and bought their materials, and they quickly got to work on their 3 beautiful homes right by each other. So they had music blasting, and they had a blast building their homes. So one day, June was busy just really kind of decorating on the inside, making things beautiful, and she hears a knock on the door. Little pig, let me in." And June says, "Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin." And that wolf said, "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down." And June says, "Oh no, oh no, oh no." And she starts running in circles on the inside going, "Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness." And sure enough, that wolf, he blew that house down. And June ran out that back door as fast as she could, all the way over to NeNe, screaming, "NeNe, NeNe, NeNe, open the door, NeNe, open the door, open the door, here I come, NeNe." And NeNe heard her. NeNe had that door open. She opened it, slammed it right behind June, and they both just put their backs to the door and were breathing super heavy. And NeNe's like, "Oh my goodness, how many breaths did it take him to blow the house down?" And June said, 2. It only took him 2. And NeNe said, "Oh my goodness. Okay, get the cell phone. We've got to call Adria, because I bet we're going to have to get over there pretty fast." And just as soon as she said that, knock, 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 knock. Little pigs, let me in." And June and NeNe said, "Not by the hairs of our chinny chin chins." And that big bad wolf said, "Okay then, I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your houses in." And the house shook. He tried it again. And it was really shaking this time. And Adria and June tiptoed to the back door. And they opened the back door just as he took one more big breath and blew NeNe's gorgeous wood house down. And June and NeNe were already on the phone calling Adria. "Adria, you were right. Your moms were all right. Open that door. Here we come." So they ran as fast as they could, and Adria was like, "No worries. We got this." Adria opened the door, and NeNe and June ran in. Adria just shut the door behind them, not even worried about it. And June and NeNe were freaking out. Adria said, "Have a seat, ladies. I got this." And she shut that door, and June and NeNe sat down on these really cute chairs that Adria had picked up. And that big bad wolf came huffing and puffing over to Adria's house. Adria peeked out that little peephole and just kind of smirked. She said, "Watch this, ladies." And she turned on her TV so they could see out the door because she had a surveillance camera set up so they could watch that big bad wolf. And he was ugly. He was sweating and drooling at the mouth. And so Big Bad Wolf said, little pigs, let me in. I'm getting tired of this runaround and I'm ready for some pig to eat. I want some bacon." And the little pig said, "Not by the hair of our chinny chin chins." And June and NeNe were still scared because he had chased them for 2 houses and he was able to blow their houses down. So they were a little bit concerned that Adria's house would blow over too. But Adria wasn't worried. She said, "Ladies, just watch the screen, okay?" So they watched the big bad wolf huff and puff and wear himself out, and it was hilarious. He huffed and he puffed until he fell over. And they could watch it all on the TV screen. And so then pretty soon he did exactly what Adria thought he would. He climbed up on top of the roof, thinking he could come in through the chimney. And the girls just giggled because Adria had the classic surprise ready for him. She had a big pot of boiling water sitting at the bottom of the chimney. So this big bad wolf got to the top of the chimney and he tried to come down like Santa Claus. And Adria had the boiling hot water at the bottom. So he fell down and burned his tail so bad that he shot up through the chimney and went screaming and crying like Delicious all the way away from the house. And the girls giggled so hard because they could watch him run off. And it was the funniest thing ever. And that big bad wolf went back and he told all of his friends, "Do not mess with those little pigs. They are trouble. You do not want to eat pig ever." And so then Adria said, "Okay, ladies, are you ready to see your rooms?" And they're like, "What are you talking about, Adria?" And Adria said, "Come on, I'll show you to your rooms." So she had rooms set up for June and NeNe already that were perfect for their taste. And so forever they had dance parties and lived together. And they always, from that point on, listened to their mothers because their mothers were always right. And Adria and June and NeNe lived happily ever after, having dance parties and inviting their moms over forever. The end.